Hello, everyone. Welcome to the TribeFan 879 YouTube channel. Today, we will be continuing the 2018 Colorado Rockies Strat Super Advanced Season Replay. Today is Game 56, the final game of a three-game series against the San Francisco Giants. If you've not seen the previous video where I posted the first results, the first two games of the series, please do so and you'll see what happens. All right, today's matchup for the Colorado Rockies pitching is Jon Gray, and pitching for the San Francisco Giants is Holland. And we'll just go ahead and get into the festivities. Leading off and playing center field, if I don't drop the dice, is Gorkys Hernandez. And the pitch to Hernandez is a line drive base hit up the middle. So Hernandez leadoff single, and he will be held on as he'll be a -2. So 1-13, they will not, make him steal. And here is the catcher, Buster Posey. Nothing on the 20. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Jon Gray gets his first strikeout of the day. And now batting the right fielder, Andrew McCutchen. Nothing there. And that's a single to left field, hitting second, and they are holding him on, and Gonzalez has a good arm, so they will hold him there. And the Giants have runners on first and second with one out, and here is Brandon Belt, the first baseman. Nothing there. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3, so it's almost been feast or famine for Jon Gray here in the first inning. And with 2 outs and 2 on and no score, here is Evan Longoria. Nothing on that 20. Oh, but Longoria gets a hold of one, and that'll go all the way to the wall. It'll roll around. Hitting third and scoring is Hernandez. Hitting second, going to third is McCutchen. Will they wave him around? I guess we'll say he's being held on because he was held on previously. -1 for being held on, but +2 because there are 2 outs. And Blackman has a +1 arm. So that's a 1-16. They're going to send him. The throw to the plate is not in time. So a 2-run double by Evan Longoria. And the Giants take an early 2-0 lead. Not exactly what the Rockies faithful wanted after the previous 2 games. All right, here's a pitch to the shortstop, Brandon Crawford. And it's in the dirt, and it'll get past the catcher, Walters. And going to third is Longoria on the wild pitch. You can see there's a 1 there, and the 5 is less than the 7. So here is Crawford still at bat, this time with Longoria on third. And nothing on the D20 this time. And that's a ground ball to third. Arenado up with it, throws and gets him. And that'll retire the side. The Giants get 2 in the top half of the first, and we go to the bottom half. The Giants 2 and the Rockies coming to bat. And here is Holland, the lefty, getting his warm-up tosses in. And leading off and playing center field, the Charlie Blackman. And that's a fly ball to center field. Going back a couple of steps is Hernandez, and he'll make the catch. That's 1 away. And here is Noel Cuevas, the left fielder. And that's a ground ball to second, going towards the hole in second. Gets it, throws, and got him. Nice play by Pablo Sandoval, the second baseman today. And here is Nolan Arenado with 2 outs and nobody on. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Rockies go in order here in the first. After one complete, Giants 2, Rockies nothing. And Gray will face the bottom third of the order, and that's leading off is the left fielder, Mac Williamson. And that's a fly ball to left field. That's Cuevas. He's a 4, but he'll still get to it. Can he make the play? 7 and a 10 for a left fielder. That's a good play and a great jump by Cuevas to get to the ball. And that's one away here in the top half of the second. Playing second base today, the Panda, Pablo Sandoval. And against a righty, that's an 18, and that's fine because ballpark singles are 1-19. So that's a one-out single by Pablo Sandoval. And that brings up the pitcher, Derek Holland. They're going to bring the corners in, and he's going to be bunting, so he will be a D bunter. D and a 4, that's probably a speed check. Nope. D and a 4 is a good sacrifice, though. If he would have been a C bunter, that would have been a speed check. But a D bunter, that's a 4. That's a good bunt. That's fielded by the pitcher. His only play is to first, so we'll call that a sacrifice 1-4. He goes to second base. And that brings up the leadoff hitter, Gorky Hernandez. Singled and scored his first time up. And he's up with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs, with the Giants leading 2-0. And that's a play for the first baseman, Ian Desmond. He might get to this. They're not holding Sandoval on. Oh boy. 8 and a 13. No, but let's see if the 3 in the 8, that's a good play because they're not holding anybody on. So Desmond gets to it, ranges towards the hole at second, gets it, throws to Gray covering, and that'll retire the side. Giants leave a runner on, and we go to the bottom half of the second. 2-0 Giants. And here's Derek Holland. He will face the shortstop, Trevor Story. And that ball is going to right field. That's McCutchen. He shouldn't have a problem with that one. Oof. 3 and a 13. There is no 13, so McCutchen races back. He gets under it and puts it away for the first out. And here is Carlos Gonzalez, the right fielder today. And that's a fly ball to right. Going back on it is McCutchen, and he'll make the play. And that's 2 away. And here's Ian Desmond. And against the lefty, that's a ground ball to the shortstop. Crawford over to Belt, and that retires the side in order. 2 complete here at Coors Field. Giants 2, Rockies nothing. All right, Gray will face Buster Posey. Struck out his first time up. And he strikes out again as Gray fools him. And that's 1 away here in the top half of the third. And here's Andrew McCutchen. And just like last time, base hit right back up the middle. And they will hold him on. And -2, 1-14. Now they'll hold him on, but he won't go anywhere. And here's Brandon Belt. Struck out his first time up. And nothing on the 20. And once again, another strikeout for Gray. He seems to have Posey and McCutchen's number. Let's see if he can get Longoria out with 2 outs and a runner on first. And this time he will. Fly ball center field. Blackman has to move it a couple steps, and that retires the side. The Giants leave 1, and we go to the bottom half of the third. Giants 2, Rockies nothing. And Holland will face the bottom third of the order. And that'll bring up Daniel Castro. Let me get his card here. Okay. And Castro, the second baseman today. And here's the pitch to the right-handed hitting second baseman. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Holland gets his second strikeout of the day. And that'll bring up the catcher, Tony Walters. And that's a ground ball to short. Crawford over to Belt, and that's 2 away here in the bottom half of the third. And here's the pitcher, Jon Gray. Oh, and Gray rips one into center field for a base hit. And that's the first hit of the day. If he'd have been normal power, that would have been a home run, but he is a weak hitting pitcher, so that's only a single. So we would have hoped for that 14-20, but we only got a 5. So Gray is the first base runner. He runs at a 13, but he will not be held on because he does not have a steal rating. And here is the center fielder, Charlie Blackmon. Maybe this will get the Rockies going here. And against the lefty, that's high and outside ball 4, so maybe it did rattle Derek Holland here. And the Rockies have runners on first and second with 2 outs, and here is Noel Cuevas. And that's a swing and a miss on a curveball, strike 3. So Holland runs into his first bit of trouble, but gets out of it. The Rockies leave 2. And we go to the top half of the fourth, 2-0 Giants. Here is Brandon Crawford, his second time up. He grounded out the third his first time up. And that's a line drive base hit right up the middle. So they will not hold Crawford on as the Giants get the leadoff runner aboard. Here is Mac Williamson, the left fielder. Nothing there on the 20. Against a righty. That's a line drive caught by the shortstop, Story. Crawford scampers back to first. And that's 1 away. And here is the second baseman, Pablo Sandoval. And here is the pitch to Sandoval. And Sandoval rips one high and deep and kiss this baby goodbye. The Panda has gone yard, and the Giants now have a 4-0 lead. Oh, you don't want to do that if you're the Rockies give up a home run to the 8th place pitcher. So 6-9 and a 1. That's an easy home run for a lefty. So here's Derek Holland with nobody on, and he'll swing away. And that's a ground ball to second. Castro's good range, but the arm is a little shaky. 12 and a 22. And I don't know if you can see that, but there is a 12 there. So Castro gets there, bobbles, and can't recover. And so that's an error on Daniel Castro. And the Giants have a runner on, and this might get out of, hopefully this won't get out of hand quickly. The Rockies have Harrison Musgrave loosening in the bullpen, and they will not hold Derek Holland on. Here's Gorkys Fernandez, 1 for 2 on the day. And that's a ground ball to first. Going towards the hole is Desmond. You won't have a play to go to second. He'll take the sure out at first. And that's 2 away as Holland moves to second on the ground ball. And here is Buster Posey. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And not this time. Line drive, base hit. Going over to cut it off is the center fielder Blackmon. But Holland will race around third. He will score. And that is now a 5-0 Giants lead. Jon Gray might not be much for longer. They'll try to get him out of the fourth, and they will not hold Posey on. And they will be successful getting out of the inning. Ground ball right back to the box for McCutchen. Gray over to first, and that'll retire the side. The Giants score 3 and leave 1. And the score after 3.5. The Giants 5 and the Rockies nothing. Woof. And here's Derek Holland, and game is never over, but we'll see what happens. Here's Nolan Arenado. And that's a ground ball to second. That's trouble for Sandoval. And an E41, this might not be good. Okay, so 5 and an 8. That'll get through for, they'll knock it down. And Sandoval being an E41 and a 14. Wow, miraculously will not make an error. But he'll knock it down, but won't have time to get back up and get Arenado. And he's got a base hit. They will not hold him on. And here is Trevor Story. And that's a ground ball to the shortstop. That's Crawford. This could be 2. E19 and a 13. Nope, and a 1 and an 11 will make that play. Yes, he will. Crawford over to Sandoval, on to Belt, and we'll call it 2. And so the Rockies now with 2 outs and nobody on, and here's Carlos Gonzalez. And that is a ground ball right back to the box. And that's easy play for Holland. He'll pick it up underhanded to Belt, and that will retire the side. 4 complete here at Coors Field. Giants 5. The Rockies nothing. And Gray will come back out. He will be on a very short leash. As Musgrave is loosening in the pen. We're going to try to get him through the 5th and maybe try to... And that's a line drive right to the second baseman, Castro. He'll make the play as Belt is now 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a lineout. And here is Evan Longoria, 1 for 2 on the day. And that's a ground ball right to the shortstop. Story gets it up, gets it, throws, and got him. And here is Brandon Crawford, 2 outs and nobody on, 1 for 2 on the day as well. And that's a ground ball to Arenado. He should get to that. Tough play. And a 7 for the third baseman, E15. Nope, there is no 7. And he'll get it. Throw to first. And the Giants are retired in order for the first time today. So... finally get that big goose egg up there with a 1-2-3 inning. And we go to the bottom half of the 5th. The Giants still lead 5-0. And we go to the bottom half of the 5th. This is Holland's point of weakness. So Reyes Moranto will be loosening in the Giants' pen. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And here is Daniel Castro, and here is his card. And here's Holland's pitch to Castro. Ground ball to second. Oh, nice play there by Sandoval. Makes the play. Wow, that's right in his wheelhouse against lefties. And here is the catcher, Tony Walters. And against a lefty, that's a fly ball left field. And That'll be Williamson. He'll get under it and put it away, and that retires the side. 5 complete. Giants 5. Rockies nothing. And all right, they're going to try to go. Actually, no, they won't. They'll do a double switch. Chris Iannetta will now come in to catch for Tony Walters. Harrison Musgrave will come into the game and pitch. Okay. Let me kind of do a little housekeeping here. Okay. Iannetta will now hit in the 9th spot, and the pitcher's spot will now be taken over by in the 8th spot. So, all right, got that under control. Let's get and we'll get the one there. Okay, so we go to the top half of the 6th. Musgrave finishing his warm-up tosses. And here is Mac Williamson, who is 0 for 2. He's lined out and flied out. And here is the righty Williamson against the lefty Musgrave. And Mac Williamson has just taken Harrison Musgrave deep and out of here. Home run Williamson. And it is now a 6-0 ball game as Musgrave his first pitch has just gone deep. And here is Pablo Sandoval. He homered his last time up. And against the righty, that's high and outside, ball 4. And Sandoval walks. It's his 3rd time on base today. And once again, the infield will be coming in, and Holland will bunt. And Holland, not being the greatest bunter, has laid down some good bunts today. That is a 5. D5. That is a good sacrifice fielded by the catcher. And his only play is the first, so. Derek Holland is 0 for 1, but 2 sacrifice bunts. Okay, and here is Gorkys Hernandez. He is 1 for 3 on the day. And then is a fly ball to center field. Going back a couple of steps is Blackman, and he'll put it away. That's 2 away here in the top half of the 6th. And here is Buster Posey, 1 for 3 on the day with a single. And against a lefty, that's a ground ball fielded by Musgrave onto first, and that'll retire the side. The leadoff home run by Williamson adds the lead for the Giants. And the score after 5.5, the Giants 6 and the Rockies nothing. And they'll keep Holland out there because he's doing pretty well. He's allowed 2 base hits and 1 walk. So we'll keep Holland out there until he gets into trouble. Here's Chris Iannetta. The catcher just came in the game. And against the lefty, that's a ground ball to the 3rd baseman. That's Longoria up with it. Throws and got him. And here's the center fielder, Charlie Blackman. And that's a line drive base hit. And Blackman is on for the 2nd time today. And Holland with Posey. No, they will not. They'll go -6. No, that's 1 to 11. They'll hold him on. Here's Noel Cuevas. No, Nothing with a 20. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And Cuevas is down for the second time today on strikes. And here is Nolan Arenado. And that's a long fly ball. Deep left field. And all that Williamson can do is watch it go. Home run, Nolan Arenado. And that finally put some smiles on the fans here at Coors Field as the Rockies cut the deficit to 6-2 on a 2-out home run by Arenado. And hooray, hooray. And here is the shortstop Trevor Story, 0 for 2 on the day. And he'd like to go back-to-back if at all possible. And so it happens. I am not Nostradamus. 2-5 against a lefty, and that ball is hit deep to center field. Going back is Hernandez. He leaps, and it's gone. Back-to-back home runs by Arenado and Story, and this deficit is cut in half. And the manager, Bruce Bochy, is wasting no time. He'll go to the bullpen and bring in Reyes Maranta as the Rockies have cut this deficit in half. And he will come in and try to get the last out here in the 6th inning. And here's Carlos Gonzalez. And that's a ground ball to short. Fielded by Crawford, and that's retires the side. And glad that was against the righty, because against the lefty, that would have been a ballpark single. So the right move made by Bochy. But the Rockies, they get 3 on 2 home runs, one by Arenado and one by Story. And the score after 6 complete, the Rockies trail 6-3. And here is Harrison Musgrave. He'll come out for his second inning of work. And here is Buster Posey, McCutchen, 2 for 3 on the day. And against the lefty, that's high and outside, ball 4. And here is Brandon Belt. They will hold McCutchen on. And Jake McGee is loosening in the pen if needed. Nothing on the 20. 4 against the lefty. That's a fly ball to left field. And that's caught by Cuevas, 1 away. And here is Evan Longoria. And right out of the danger zone. And that's a 16 for Iannetta. E1, that should be fine for him. It is. 4 and a 16 will roll. If this is lower than a 10, this is a pass ball. If it's higher, it's just a pop-up. And that is in the dirt, and it gets away and onto second base on a pass ball is McCutchen, and we'll re-roll for Longoria with a runner on second. And that is line drive, and it gets over the left fielder Cuevas' head, and it bounces around into third, and rounding third and scoring is McCutchen. And not stopping there, he'll go to third and be in standing. So Longoria has a double and a triple today. And that will be it for Harrison Musgrave. Let's see here. We'll have Jake McGee try to get the final out here, and he'll be replaced by a pinch hitter. All right, and here's Brandon Crawford. Runner on third, one out. Nothing there. Ground ball to second. That'll do the job. Only play is the first, and the run scores. That'll be charged to Musgrave. And Giants now lead 8-3. And here's Mac Williamson. Actually, he'll get 2 outs this inning, maybe. And nobody on, so. And against the lefty, that's a line drive base hit. And here is Pablo Sandoval. And with an... And maybe they'll replace him in the 9th. Okay. Oops. And let me roll the Havoc die. Nothing on the Havoc die. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And Moranta will come back out. That'll retire the side. The Giants get 2. And after 6.5, it's 8-3. And everybody up on your feet. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back for its root for the Rockies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For its 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of the old ball game. Okay. We have Desmond Castro and then a pinch hitter after McGee got the final 2 outs in the 7th. And Reyes Moranta, who got the last out in the 6th, will continue. And against a righty, that's a line drive base hit past the shortstop, Crawford. And the Rockies have the leadoff runner aboard. And here's Daniel Castro. Nope, that's Brooks Pounders. Here's Daniel Castro. He is 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out. And here is Moranta, the righty. Ground ball to the second baseman. This looks like a tailor-made double play. Sandoval on to Crawford on to Belt. Double play. And that's 2 outs here in the 7th inning. And here is the pinch hitter Ryan McMahon hitting for Jake McGee. And here's Moranta with the 2 outs and nobody on, and the Rockies trailing 8-3. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So the Rockies go down here in the 7th. We go to the top half of the 8th. The Giants leading 8-3. And McGee will come out. And Chris Rusin will be coming into the game for the 8th inning. And we will get a pinch hitter. Nick Hundley will come out and hit for... Actually, no, we'll have Austin Jackson come out. Let's see here. Okay, so we'll have... All right, so Austin Jackson will pinch hit for Moranta. And against the lefty, that's a ground ball to the first baseman. Sorry, we'll get Rusin in the game here. That's a ground ball to first baseman. Desmond underhands to Rusin. That's 1 away here in the top half of the 8th. And we will have Gorkis Hernandez. And And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Hernandez down on strikes. Here in the top of the 8th with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's Buster Posey, 1 for 3 on the day. 1 for 4, yeah. And ground ball to the first baseman, Desmond. He should be able to get to this rather easily. Can he make the play? 8 on a 8. I don't think that's a problem. It is not. And Desmond gets the ball, throws to Rusin covering. It's like they practiced it in spring training or something. And that retires a side in order. We go to the bottom half of the 8th with the score 8-3. And the Giants will make a defensive change. Kelby Tomlinson will be coming into the game and playing third base for Pablo Sandoval. Get a little better defense there. So actually, no, second base, sorry. Kelby Tomlinson will go in the play second base for a little better defense. Better range, maybe not, and just a smidge better error rating. So Tomlinson will replace Sandoval, as Sandoval had himself a day. 2 for 3 with a walk and a home run. And that'll take care of that. And he will bat 8th in the order. If I doubt he'll come up. Maranta will not come out and pitch the 8th. Tony Watson will come into the game. And he will face Iannetta, Blackman, and Cuevas. All right, so here is Tony Watson, the lefty, facing Iannetta. And it's a ground ball to third. Longoria up with it. He throws to first, and that's 1 away. And here is Charlie Blackman. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Watson gets the first 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 8th. And here is Noah Cuevas. And that is a line drive base hit past the shortstop. And that brings up Nolan Arenado. And once again, Arenado, high fly ball, deep left center field. Going back on it is Hernandez, and it is gone. Nolan Arenado, with his just murderous card against lefties, goes deep for the second time today. And the Rockies have cut the deficit to 8-5. As they pitched to Arenado with 2 outs and a runner on. Maybe they first base was not open, so you probably pitched to him anyways. But Arenado, second home run today and 4th RBI. And here is Trevor Story. And that's a ground ball to the third. Longoria gets it, throws to first. And that'll retire the side. The Rockies get 2. And that'll mean Hunter Strickland is loosening in the pen for a safe situation, potentially. Rusin will come out and pitch the second inning, I believe. Rusin did go 1, 2, 3. All right. Yeah, he'll do it. So, looks like Rusin will go a second inning as well. He'll face McCutchen, Belt, and Longoria. And against a lefty, that's a fly ball center field. Not having to move anywhere is Blackman. That's 1 away. And here is Brandon Belt. Against a lefty, that's a line drive into the gap, and that'll get cut off by Blackman, and will hold Belt to a single. His first base hit of the day in 5 plate appearances. And here is Evan Longoria, 2 for 4 on the day with a double and a triple. And that's a line drive base hit into score. Actually, no. Sorry. Belt will go to third, not scoring. They held him up. And Rusin looks like he's a little tired. And they'll get Scott Oberg loosening now. The problem is Oberg's pitched the last 2 games. So I think he won't have as good stuff today, but he's loosening. And here is Rusin pitching to Crawford. This will probably be his last batter. And that's high and outside, ball 4. That'll load the bases. And they will have Mac Williamson, the righty. They will bring in Oberg. He will be essentially tired now because he's pitched the last 2 games. So we will bring in Oberg. But we will put the dot on him to let me know that he will essentially be, the dots will be single 2 stars. But thankfully, he has a couple. So, all right, here's Scott Oberg to try to keep this a 3-run ball game. If the base is loaded, they'll bring the infield in. And that's a ground ball to third. Maybe he shouldn't have brought the infield in, but we'll see. That's to Arenado. That's a 16. And here's the play from Arenado. That's an 8. Okay, so bases loaded. G1. Yes. So bases loaded G1 says infield in. Okay, that's a ground ball to Arenado. Throws home for 1. On to first double play. Oops, actually, they only need the 1 out. So there was 2. No, there's 1 out. So to the catcher for 1 on to first double play. So just what the doctor ordered. The 5-2-3 double play. And Oberg got his 1 man. And we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Hunter Strickland will come out. And it is an 8-5 ball game. And Tony Watson will go bye-bye. Due up Gonzalez, Desmond, and Castro. And let's see what happens when we get Strickland into the game. And last chance for the Rockies. And against the lefty, that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And the leadoff batter is down here in the 9th. And here is Desmond. Against a righty, that's a ground ball to shortstop. Crawford up with it, throws and got him. And the last hope is not going to be, it is going to be Daniel Castro because they don't have anybody to play second base. So here's Daniel Castro with David Dahl on deck. And here's the pitch to Castro. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. The Rockies fall today 8-5. Nolan Arenado had a heck of a game, but once again, the Rockies pitching just bleh. All right, so the Rockies fall to 10 games under 500 again at 23-33. The next series will be against the Los Angeles Dodgers. The game that I will be bringing to you on the channel is going to be, looks to be Travis Wood versus Chad Bettis. And then another series against the Cincinnati Reds. The game I will be bringing to you is the first game of that series. That's Kyle Freeland against Anthony DeScalfani. And so those are the next two series that will be play for the Rockies as we hit the month of June coming up in the next series. All right, everybody. If this is your first time watching, thank you. And if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon. You'll be notified of any new videos. And if you like what you see, and you've already subscribed, please hit the like button. And whatever games you are playing, may your games be lively and your games be good. From Coors Field, have a good day, everybody.